Instead of trying in your own strength, you should just wait. Instead of calculating what will happen if you go wrong, you should just wait. My steps are ordered by the Lord. Yeah, you should just wait. They that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up on wings like an eagle. In their soar, they shall walk and not get weary. They shall run and not faint. That's what happens when you wait. Happens when you wait. They that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up on wings like an eagle and soar. They shall walk and not get weary. They shall run and not faint. That's what happens when you wait. That's what happens when you. That's what happens when you wait. That's what happens when you wait. That's what happens when you wait.
It is time for Yes with Yesse. Please welcome your host, Yesenia Leva.
Have you ever noticed you're doing a whole lot of movement, whole lot of breathing, but you're not going anywhere? You're in the exact same position. What a beautiful metaphor for comparing yourself to other people. Because whenever you compare yourself to somebody else, all you end up doing is exerting a lot of psychological, emotional, and physical energy trying to keep up and compete with somebody you were never called or created
And
to
you
be.
guys should
And
be
at the end
hearing
of
me
all
now.
this,
Good
you realize
evening. Good evening. Let me know if you can hear me. Good evening, everyone in New Season Gospel FM. Good evening, everyone on your way home listening to us via YouTube, via 89.1. Good evening to you. Good evening. Had a little sound issue going on, but I hope you can hear me now. Absolutely awesome. So good evening, 89.1, New Season Gospel FM Facebook. Good evening. I see you guys tuning in. Everyone on YouTube, of course. I love seeing YouTubers. Of course, you guys know it's much easier and accessible to reach us on YouTube. You won't get knocked out. You won't get interrupted. It's so good, so good. So just leave it on there. Hi, Brother Darren. Hi. You know, I have to talk to you. I meant to reach out today, so I'll reach out to you later on. Good evening. Good evening, Sister Juliet. Good evening, Sister Anne-Marie. Sister Juliet. We got two Juliets. Good evening to you both. Brother Percy. in YouTube. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining. It's awesome to have you all on tonight on this Thursday evening. So as I was saying before, you guys could not hear me, is that today today was an awesome day, beautiful day, beautiful skies, beautiful sunshine. It was beautiful to be out there for a little bit before coming on in here with you guys and enjoying a little bit of that. So very good stuff. A lot of stuff happening. It's a new year, right? It's a new year, so we're starting off good. A lot of opportunities, a lot of work. Work is always good because work means money, right? So that is very good. Very good. And of course, you guys being here makes it that much more awesome. I was going to say awesomer, but that is not a word. Awesomer is not a word. So do me a favor, guys. Take a moment and share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, go ahead and share the broadcast so that everyone knows that we're on. Buenas noches a todos ustedes allá afuera. Buenas noches a toda la familia en la comunidad latina que están escuchándonos ahí en la 89.1 a través del medio social, a través del YouTube, y como yo le digo, buenas noches. Y por favor compartan porque estamos ansiosos para tenerlos aquí con nosotros. We are looking forward to always having a very diverse community of all of you guys out there watching us here on New Season Gospel FM. It's always an honor and a pleasure to have you all. So, buenas noches y espero que nos estén escuchando, nos den un comentario y claro que nos vengan a visitar. Of course, to come visit us, right? So that we know that you guys are watching. That is one of my favorite things ever, is to meet our listeners. I love it. I love talking to you guys. I love meeting you guys and just hearing your feedback of all the shows and everything. So it's awesome to be able to meet you guys. Like I got the opportunity to meet Sister Stacy over the weekend. And now we stay in touch. And the cool part is that you never know what else that person needs. You know, I think we all have a purpose. For sure, we all have a purpose. We all have our why. And it's cool when you get to talk to someone on a deeper level. Like they listen to you, they listen to the morning show, and they're like, you know what? You know, it's community. It makes me feel good. It makes me happy. And then you find out other things that, you know, they're living with, and you can help them. And it's really cool. It's really cool. And that, my friends, is what community is all about. That is what community is all about. That's what New Season Gospel FM is all about. That's what New Season is all about. And I think that everyone that's tuned in, that's what we are all about. And so I have a little message for you guys as we get started. I heard this song not long ago, and it's, of course, they're all my favorite songs, but I love this song. And I promised myself I wasn't going to cry when I heard it again. So I'm going to do my very best not to cry, not to cry in hearing this song, but it's called Stay Strong. Stay strong. And out of so many things, this past weekend really kind of just reminded me of that in every instance of different things going on, of different life happenings, to stay strong, to stay strong, to stay strong in your faith, to stay strong in the Lord, and to use the tools around you, specifically community, church, your faith, to keep you motivated, to keep you strong, to keep you staying strong, because sometimes it just gets heavy. It does get heavy. And if for me personally, if I didn't have a higher power, if I didn't have God, if I didn't have my faith, if I didn't have church, if I didn't have my activities, I always say it, I don't know where I would be. And so let's stay strong and stand strong in our faith, in what we believe in community, in one anothering, right? And this, which is what it's all about. So check out this song. Let me know what you guys think. Again, it has become definitely one of my ultimate favorite songs. But then again, they're all my favorites. So let me know what you guys think. I love it. I hope you enjoy it too.
I've been waiting for breakthrough. I've been praying for change. I know you work it out for good. I never see the promise on this side of the grave, my hope might be shaken, but my faith will never break. Because I know the day is coming when you right all of the wrong. So I'll praise you in the waiting, and my faith will stay strong. Yeah. Ooh. God, you taught me to trust you. You show me how to believe. You're the author and the finisher of what you started me. So I'm not gonna doubt it. I'm gonna hold on to peace. 'Cause if I have you and nothing else, I still have everything. 'Cause if I never see the promise on this side of the grave, my hope might be shaken, but my faith will never break. Because I know the day is coming when you right all of the wrong. So I'll praise you in the waiting, and my faith will stay strong. I'll count it joy when I am tested, 'cause you bring beauty from my pain. It's never wasted. But if I never see the promise on this side of the grave, my hope might be shaken, but my faith will never break. Because I know the day is coming when you right all of the wrong. So I praise you in the waiting, and my faith will stay strong. Because I know the day is coming when you right all of the wrong. So I praise you in the waiting, and my faith will stay strong, will stay strong.
I will praise you in the waiting. I will praise you in the waiting. My faith will remain strong. Oh, I'm not going to doubt. I'm going to stay in peace. My faith will never break. Someone said, I am with you. Jesse, the tears are closed. Powerful for sure. Thank you for sharing. Most welcome. And I couldn't look at the screen because it's a powerful song. And sometimes we live in a moment where we are just not sure what's going to happen. We don't know humanly, right? We think from a human perspective, we don't know what's going to happen. What's going to happen with my future? What am I doing? Am I wasting my time? All of these doubts that come into your mind, and it just you have to remember. You have to remember your why. You have to remember your why. You have to remember why you started. You have to remember who's waiting on you. Who are you impacting? You have to remember all of those things and know that it's going to happen in God's timing. God's timing is perfect. So that's why that song was everything. I just want to play it over and over and over again. I will praise you in the waiting. I will praise you in the waiting. And a lot of times we don't want to wait. We don't want to be in that waiting season. We want it now. I know for me, it's like sometimes I'm like, God, when? When? Not why, but when. When is this going to happen? When is my breakthrough coming? When is this going to happen? When am I going to get an answer? And I always hear, just wait. Be patient. Just wait and be patient. God's timing is perfect. That is what I hear the most. Yay, be patient. Yay, be patient. It's coming. Your time is coming. And so it is. And so what do we do in that time of waiting is preparation, right? And so I learned that. I learned that in that time is preparation. And when we're preparing, it's less, it's easier to bear. It's easier to bear that waiting period when we prepare, so that we're prepared for what we're asking for and for what God has for us. That is. So preparation is key in that waiting period, so that we are better prepared for whatever God is getting ready to send our way. according to our talents, our skills, our abilities, our needs, our future, all of it. It is possible. It is possible. So I love that song. Stay strong. No matter what it is that we are going through, no matter what it is that we are waiting for, we must stay strong and stay in faith, knowing that all things will work together for our good. It will. It definitely will. It's just a matter of waiting. So I love that song. I just found it. I just found it. I just found this. So, hey, why not play it for you guys, right? I love that song. So that's what it's all about, guys. That's what it's all about.
Montaña se moverá, cadena se romperá. Dios lo creemos porque hoy vemos milagros en este lugar. Muertos se levantarán, gigantes se derrotarán. Dios lo creemos porque hoy vemos milagros en este lugar. Vinimos por ti, haz tu obra aquí. Vinimos por ti, haz tu obra aquí. Hoy me entrego a ti, haz tu obra aquí. Muévete ya, muévete ya. Muertos se levantarán, gigantes se derrotarán. Dios lo creemos porque hoy vemos milagros en este lugar. Vinimos por ti, haz tu obra aquí. Vinimos por ti, haz tu obra aquí. Hoy me entrego a ti, haz tu obra aquí. Muévete ya, muévete ya. Hay un milagro en este lugar. Cuando te mueves hay sanidad. Hay un milagro en este lugar. El cielo se acerca. Hay un milagro en este lugar. Cuando te mueves hay sanidad. Hay un milagro en este lugar. El cielo se acerca. Muévete ya, muévete ya. Vinimos por ti, haz tu obra aquí. Vinimos por ti, haz tu obra aquí. Hoy me entrego a ti, haz tu obra aquí. Muévete ya, muévete ya, muévete ya, muévete ya.
Haz tu obra en mí. That means do your will in my life. Move now and then do your will in my life. And that's what we're waiting for, right? That's the theme tonight is we are waiting for our breakthrough. We're waiting for what God has for us. We are in preparation mode to get ready to receive it. To receive it. It might not look like what you expected. It might not be or look like what you wanted it to look like or what you wanted it to be, but it's coming and it's greater and it's powerful. It's greater than what we're in right now, right? So this is preparation period. Preparation period until we receive what we have been waiting for. Guys, of course, St. Valentine's Day just passed. So happy Valentine's Day to everyone listening out there on 89.1, YouTube, New Season Gospel FM, Facebook family. Happy Valentine's Day. The Cuban way. Did you guys know that 3%, a little 3% of people with intellectual disabilities live as a couple compared to about, let's say, 70% of the general adult population? Not that great in math, but that's not a lot of people. Just 3%. Just 3% of the entire population of individuals with disabilities, which is a lot because like 1 in 5 people are born with a disability every single day. So 3% of those with intellectual disabilities and other disabilities live as a couple compared to, again, the 70% of the general population. So when I hear that, it's like, why is that? Why is that, right? I can tell you guys so many stories of things that I have encountered, comments that I have heard as to why this is what it is and why it is assumed that people with disabilities will never be fulfilled independently. Number one, be independently, live independently, etc. And number two, why they will never get married, why they will never have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and live that part of their life. And so I've seen it up close where for several adults of mine with developmental disabilities and other disabilities, they will be asked a question, will be having some kind of party, dance, or whatever the case. And if you know me, I'm always kidding around with them. So I'm like, hey, you think that one's cute, or you think she's pretty, or, stuff like that. Because it's a normal reaction, right? It's a normal thing for a human. So to me, it's normal for them as well. They're not exempt from finding love. They're not exempt from making friends. And a lot of times parents will be hush hush about it. Oh, so-and-so will never get married. So-and-so will never have a girlfriend. Oh, no. Like if it was against the law, and it drives me bonkers. It drives me bonkers. So for that fact that not so much the individual doesn't want to have a significant other find love, it's more based on their surrounding, the people that surround them, in having that negative perspective of, oh no, they're never going to find anyone because they have a disability. Like, really? Why? Simply because I have a disability? Like, there has to be more to that, right? I will never forget, and I've shared it before, a couple years ago, not long ago, when I was getting ready to go to prom, I got home one day and I said, Mom, I have a date for prom. I need a limo, I need a dress, and I need money. And then she later on shared that she was scared for me because she didn't know if I was going to be able to experience going to prom because I wouldn't have somebody to go with. Little did she know that I had somebody to go with from like my previous school year, 10th, 11th grade year. So, it really taught me a lesson of like, wow, like parents really think this, and it doesn't have to be that you are in a romantic relationship. It could be your best friend, as it was in my case, but we kind of tend to take everything to the extreme, in a sense. So, young adults and teens, not just adults, but teens and adults, because a lot of times we generalize, this particular group as kids because of the disability from an intellectual perspective, when in reality, they're in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and they're adults. So young teens and adults with intellectual disabilities or physical disabilities, they really don't participate in any kind of, like I was saying, in any kind of romantic relationship. They don't, because it's kind of, how do you say it? It's kind of doomed for them to do this. It's kind of like, no, you don't need to. No, why would you? Stay single, travel the world, right? And so it's kind of like shamed upon in a sense. And so we hear this for so many years that when we become adults, it's kind of like, okay, well, I guess not, right? But why is that? Right? So when we become adults after hearing this for so long, we're not even looking for it because it's kind of like in our mind, out of reach, out of sight, out of mind, out of reach, whatever the case. Of course, just depending on your personality at that point. And so we become maybe desensitized in it to think, well, you know what? I don't need anybody. I'm independent. I can work. I make my own money, so on and so forth, when it has really nothing to do with your independence. Finding someone to spend your life with, finding love has nothing to do with you being independent or you wanting to do everything on your own or needing someone to help you, and everything to do with emotional, finding love, wanting what everybody else has, wanting an independent life, wanting your own family. That's what it's all about. And absolutely, some parents are overprotective with their child with a disability and won't let them explore. And so where is the thin line? Where has the parent, I'm happy you said that, Sister Juliet. Where has a parent crossed the line of that overprotection, not allowing their individual with a disability to explore, to explore, but to explore that adulthood, to get to that level where it's like, you know what, I'm an adult and I have the right to be in a relationship. I have the right to talk to somebody, and so what happens is, and I've seen it way too many times, we deny these young adults, because they are adults, we deny these young adults this opportunity, this right that they have, and so then they go doing it behind your back. They go hiding and doing it behind your back. And so parents tend to think, well, they don't know better. They don't know what they're doing. That one's my pet peeve. They don't know what they're doing. They don't understand. I don't think at that point is not understanding or them not knowing what they're doing or whatever the case, because they are smarter than a fifth grader. They're smarter than we think they know. They know more than most people most of the time. Sometimes, I work with them all the time. They know a lot more than I do. And they're a lot more, open and all these things really than I am. And so why not, and this is my argument and that I have opportunities to talk to parents, why not prepare them and educate them early on so that when these situations happen, they're prepared. They're prepared, and you don't have surprises. You don't have grandchildren coming your way. You don't have, situations that you were not going to be comfortable with simply because you refuse to educate your individual with a disability because you thought it was a good idea to think that they are not worthy of love, that they are not worthy of this part or aspect of their life simply because they have a disability. That's not okay. That's not okay. Especially when we live in a time, thank God, where at least I feel, we're more open. We're more open to disability. I'm barely asked, what's your disability? Barely asked what's your disability. I'm barely told you, oh, you can't do this or you can't do that because of your disability. It's one, because of the type of world that we're in now, the inclusivity and so on, but it's also because I present myself in that way. I present myself in a way where I'm capable, I'm able, I can do, and I want to do what everybody else does. I want to live a lifestyle everyone wants to live. I want to live the quote unquote American dream of being married and all these things, right? So just because society has put it upon the people that people with disabilities are less than, not capable, not worthy of, that is something that we have to change. And the way that we change that, to me, it always starts at home, right? We drill it that it starts at home. It starts with the people close to you. So I try to educate in a positive light parents and caregivers to, like, look, they're adults. They have feelings and wants and needs, etc. Educate them, prepare them, right? Prepare them, because what happens if you tell me no, a lot of times you tell somebody no, they're going to go do that same very thing that you're telling them not to do. So I'd rather be like, look, this is this is what you need to know. This is what you need to do. Let me help you. Let me educate you, and be there as a support versus telling them, no, that's not for you. You don't need that. You don't want that. What? Again, we do that, and what we're creating is for them to do it behind your back. That's what we are creating, for them to do it behind your back. And that is never good. That is never good. So they're labeled by society. Absolutely. They're labeled by society. And so not only are we labeled by society, but unfortunately, we then get multi labeled, a whole nother label by the ones closest to us, which is our parents, our families, etc. And I always tell the families that I work with, I said, you're not going to be here. You're not going to be here their entire life. You're not going to be here to control A, B, and C. You're not going to be here to control everything that they do, their every move. You're not going to be here. So why not prepare them? And then I get into the fact that, again, it's a mindset thing. Well, I'm not going to be here. So when they're not here, they're going to automatically go into a nursing home. Why? Why do we have to focus on that process? Why can't we continue or begin, that is, to focus on that community-based living? Because that's exactly what it's called, right? Community-based living, when they're living in their own place, when they're living in an interdependent community with help, with assistance, with services. I don't know what I'm going to do, because I want all my kids living in a home where I can go visit them. I always say that that's like my dream, where they can, again, be independent, but I have my eye on them. I'm able to provide services and social and all these different things. And that way their parents don't have to worry about it, and leave everything set for them. So that's my wish list. That's on my wish list. But seriously, we need to do better as parents. Yes, parents are overprotective. They want what's best for their individual, for their child or their young adult. And it's totally understandable. But why not help that individual, regardless of the age, develop a sense of community, help them understand and help them create and know what is their community, their assisted living facility, their doctors, their school, their support system, their nurses, their therapy services, their church, the people. And they have all of these people in their community that can be there for them, and that they don't have to do life alone in these facilities. My guys call me almost every day because they're bored. They want to work. Miss Jessie, I want to work, Miss, and it's like, oh my gosh, there's so many of them. So we're really doing a disservice to our kids by continuing to label them with, you can't get married, you can't do this, you can't do that, simply because we have a disability. For a lot of people, it's a big deal. Like, it's, oh my God, it's a major disability. And I say simply a disability because it's a part of us. It's a part of me. It's a part of any individual that has that disability. It's a part of them, but it doesn't determine who they are. It doesn't define who they are, as it doesn't define who I am. And so now that we just went through, or we just passed Valentine's Day, we don't think about it because, again, out of sight, out of mind. But it's a big deal when you're living with your disability, whether you were born with it, whether you acquired it later in life, whether you acquired it later after COVID, because to be honest, I didn't think about that very much. A lot of people acquired a disability after COVID when they got sick. And so now these people either have to continue living how they were living. A lot of them have to get divorced in order to qualify for services like Medicaid, SSI. It's all income-based, and they all have different income restrictions. So a lot of people now have had to get divorced, get separated in order to qualify for health care. Our young adults that are transitioning from childhood to adulthood are losing their benefits because they used to be under their parents' financial situations. Now they're on their own, or vice versa. So it's really a lot of different situations that we are not aware of that affect our everyday life. And just the other day, someone sent me a video of it's actually a TikTok video that kind of explains it very well. It was a lady just really um, speaking towards that very topic of inaccessibility to services and to government benefits once you're married. Let me see if I can play it really quick so you guys can get a listen into this video. It's I appreciate videos like this because it brings education in a different platform. So let's see. I'm going to play it for you guys really quick. It's super short, but very powerful.
Happy Valentine's Day to the thousands of disabled people who cannot get married without fearing that they'll lose their health care and benefits. Likewise, happy Valentine's Day to the newly disabled people from COVID who will now need to get divorced in order to acquire health care and benefits. Lastly, happy Valentine's Day to the parents of disabled and chronically ill children who will need to get divorced so that their child can get health care and benefits. Happy Valentine's.
So those are the different types of people, if you will, that need benefits, need to acquire benefits, and unfortunately, based on the income restriction, need to either get separated, divorced, etc., in order for their children or themselves actually to qualify for services. That's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. It is sad. It is sad because it's another label if you think about it. We continue with the labels and continue with the labels. And so it's not fair. So for us as the individuals with a disability that have to live that, and the parents as well, again, we kind of become desensitized in that area because it's like, well, I won't be able to do it anyway. I won't be able to get married, right? And so then society starts to make things up. Right? Like now there's like a spiritual ceremony. Well, since I can't get married legally because I'll lose everything, maybe I can have a spiritual wedding where it doesn't, there's no legality to it. It's just a wedding to have a wedding. It's not fair. I mean, great to each their own if they want to go ahead and do that. But it's not fair that people with disabilities cannot experience things that everyone else experiences and things that at the end of the day we long for. As women, as people, we long for those kind of things, for the belonging, for the inclusivity, the love, etc. And to know that we won't be able to experience it from a ceremonial perspective or, for real, like I like to say, because we'll lose everything. It is not fair. Not fair, not fair, not fair. So people with disabilities have definitely been singled out for way too long for not having those particular needs, when in reality, everyone has those needs and wants as well. So that's very sad, very, very sad. Many experts many exempt from being educated about this subject as well, obviously, because they leave school, that's it. They leave the school system and that's it. No one is educating them. No one's giving them information about this particular subject. And so that's kind of when we start getting into trouble, right? That's kind of when we start getting into trouble. So, I always advocate for parents to talk to your children. And that's your teen, right? Your teenager, your young adult. I can't tell you guys the stories that I hear from the individuals themselves, like, Miss Jessie, this is happening and my parents have never said anything to me. And, what do I do? Or what do I say back? Or, all these different things. And I'm like, wow, like, mom, dad, can you get it together? Can you get it together? But again, it's awesome to be able to be there as a mentor and somebody that they trust, that I can talk to them about different things, right? But definitely parents, you're out there, caregivers, nurses, etc. I would definitely encourage you to encourage your families and your parents that you help and that you work with to speak to their children, regardless of the disability, because it is sad. Everyone wants a sense of belonging. Everyone wants to be loved, to love and to be loved. Right? And so it is not fair to desensitize someone from that want and that need of love simply because they have a disability, simply because you are fearful. This is another one. You're fearful that they're going to get hurt. Well, at some point, terrible. But at some point, everyone's going to get hurt, right? That's a part of life. And that's a whole nother thing. At some point, we're going to get hurt. So why not talk about different situations? Talk about different scenarios and how to respond. Talk about how self-love comes first. If you don't have self-love, you can't love someone else. If you don't have self-love, you won't know what true love is that you receive from somebody else. So there's so many things that are from an educational perspective that we can be doing to educate our individuals with and without disabilities, but specifically with disabilities, that will help. And as a matter of fact, you know, these like special ed classes or sex ed classes that are provided in the school system, a lot of people are like against them. And why are we doing these educational classes for our individuals with disabilities? Again, education, and to make sure that there's awareness of some sort, right? Some awareness is better than no awareness. And so when this is taught in schools, what we don't realize is that it's so much more than just, you know, the sex ed class. It's so much more than that. It's privacy, it's boundaries, it's relationships with friends, with, you know, other people in general in the community, families. It's, you know, hygiene, all of these different things that are a part of who we are as a human being anyway. It's just like when they do shows and fashion shows with me. Yes, they're having fun in the fashion show, but all these skills and things they're using for employment, interviewing skills, dress for success, you know, they're having good manners, like all these different things that we're talking about here that is important for them to learn. Social skills and grooming and communication, all of this that addresses living and healthy social life. Right? So I think what we miss sometimes is that by denying an opportunity for for education in one side is actually lacking from another side. And that's not good. So let's educate our kids. It is that simple. Let's educate our kiddos and do not remove them from a general perspective in society that everybody belongs to. That everybody belongs to, believes in, and needs at the end of the day, right? So let's do that. It's a lot of work for one person. So moms, dads, aunts, uncles, caregivers, let's help them out. Let's help them out and work together as an entire community for all of our kiddos that we serve every single day. Situations, now they're on their own.
Queremos ver tu rostro, Señor, y amarte para siempre. Abre mis ojos, oh Cristo. Abre mis ojos, te pido. Yo quiero verte. Abre mis ojos, yo quiero verte. Abre mis ojos, oh Cristo. Abre mis ojos, te pido, yo quiero verte, yo quiero verte y contemplar tu majestad y el resplandor de tu gloria. Derrama tu amor y poder cuando cantamos santos y contemplar tu majestad. El resplandor de tu gloria derrama tu amor y poder cuando cantamos santo, 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 yo quiero verte, decimos santo. Santo, 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 yo quiero verte. Abre mis ojos, oh Cristo. Abre mis ojos, te pido, yo quiero verte, glorioso Cristo. Abre mis ojos, te pido, yo quiero verte. Quiero verte y contemplar tu majestad y el resplandor de tu gloria. Derrama tu amor y poder cuando cantamos santo, santo y contemplar tu majestad y el resplandor de tu gloria. Derrama tu amor y poder cuando cantamos santo, santo. Santo, santo, santo. Santo, santo, santo. Sus ángeles dicen, santo, santo. Dicen, cantan santo. Y su iglesia y contemplar tu majestad y el resplandor. Derrama tu amor, tu poder, cuando cantamos santo, santo. Y contemplar tu majestad y el resplandor. Derrama tu amor y poder cuando cantamos. Y contemplar y el resplandor. Derrama tu amor y poder y contemplar tu majestad y el resplandor de tu gloria. Derrama tu amor y poder cuando cantamos santo, santo. Decimos decimos santo, santo, tú eres santo.
all human. We all have, at the end of the day, we're all human. We're all human. Included in the day. And we're all human to live, right? We're all things that everybody, that's my goal. Things that everyone, regardless of that's my goal. Included in the community, that information and resources that included in the community, independent now, as I understand, included independent of our community now to the best of our ability. So I know to the best learn something and not for yourself that you can move forward and give information to someone else that might need it. And so give information with that if anyone that might need it. Services and assistance with that if anyone that might need it. They can reach out. Assistance with that with Yesse. They can Facebook, send me a message and we'll be happy to help you in any way that so with that, thank you guys for your support here on Yesse. With that, your support is everything to New Season Gospel FM. It is your support is everything here that we come time after time to hear invite you and to educate you and entertain you. So your support is everything. If you have any support, thank you if you have. Thank you. Continue to do so. Thank you via Cash App $sign. Continue to do so. Thank you via Cash App $sign. New Season LTD. Cash App $sign. Zell 954-536. 1821 Zell 954-536. 1821 or right on the website Zell 954-FM.com. Right on the website New Season FM or right on the website. Those are the different ways that you can support. Right on the website New Season FM or right on the website. I look forward to seeing you guys again. Right on the website New Season FM or right. I look forward to seeing you guys Thursday. Right on the website New Season FM or right. And to take us off, I'll play you guys. Right on the website New Season FM or right. And to take us off, I'll play you guys. Right on the website New Season FM or really quick before I right on the website New Season FM or really quick before I right on the website New Season FM or really quick right on the website New Season
When you're back against the wall and your mountain seems so tall, and you realize life's not always fair, you can run away and hide, let the old man decide, or you can change your circumstances with a prayer. When everything falls apart, just praise His name. When you have a broken heart, raise your hands and say, Lord, you're all I need. You're everything to me. He will take the hurt away. When it seems you're all alone, just praise His name.